All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Fight Site interview. Today we have with us UFC bantamweight contender Merab Dvalishvili. Before we begin, uh, just remember to check out thefightsite.com. Fantastic interviews, articles, breakdowns, and podcasts for you to enjoy. We also have a Patreon page. Make sure you go and subscribe. You'll be treated to a lot of exclusive content, and trust me, it's worth it. You'll be able to get onto the Discord server, ask for podcast requests, and all of that. I've limited time with you, Merab. So first of all, how you doing? How's everything?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How you doing?
Hanging in there, you know. I tested positive for the virus thing.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no symptoms. I'm all good. And, my wife tested negative to this week, so I'm going to get tested to see if I'm all good. So hopefully that's the answer.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have a lot of time. So first of all, I just wanted to ask about your background. You come from Georgia, and you were trained in wrestling and everything like that. And if anyone watches you fight, you're obviously a really good wrestler. So I would love to hear more about your training background and tell us how you got to where you are, both stylistically and whenever you're, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
My background is judo and sambo, and yeah, of course MMA. I transitioned like my judo and sambo to MMA, and then MMA. I'm working on my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, everything. But of course, it's I can fight everywhere, every position, but it's more easier for me to like take guys down and like control from on top, like Khabib style. It's easier for
Yeah,
me. So but yeah, I have a record in UFC like 39 takedown. It's like my weight class. It's most takedown. So um, yeah,
makes
uh,
sense.
right.
Yeah, I think anybody who watches you fight would say that you're kind of relentless, and you train at Team Serra Longo, which has many notable fighters: Aljamain Sterling, Chris Weidman, plenty of fighters train out
Right.
of that team. How did you end up at Team Serra Longo, first of all?
Right.
And did you immediately take to that team? Did you like, this is my team right away? I know I want to be here. Uh, Tell us about your story to get to Serra Longo.
Yeah, that wasn't easy like to go this like the gym. Like I mean after judo and sambo, like I started fighting like 2010, and I was fighting Georgia, like amateur, and like 2000, like I win couple fights there. And 2012, like me and my two friends, like who was winning like all this Georgian championship, like MMA matches or whatever, like Georgian MMA Federation, they help us to like come here to USA, North Carolina to fight title, amateur title belt, and uh, me and my like two guys, we win the title, we go back to Georgia. But after I decide to move here in New York to like stay here, emigrate here, because my goal was always UFC and I want to be UFC fighter. But when I move here, of course I don't know nobody like MMA like people, and I start everything from zero. And I have a friend who recognized the one gym, the kickboxing gym, and then the coach tell him and tell us to he can help us to like get like give us pro fight, like pro fights, and then step by step we can go UFC. But this trainer was a liar. He don't have a no MMA fighters, no grapplers, whatever. And then like I lost my 8 months to in this gym because I was training better in Georgia, much better, and then here. And after this, like I was thinking about to like a done, like a finish MMA, like because I'm like, doesn't make sense. Like I'm in New York, and if I'm not training good, then like how I can go UFC, or like who's gonna help me to like a good training, whatever. So and finally, I was looking for some good gym, good whatever, and then I found the Serra Longo team, and once I walk in, and I knew right away like that was the gym, that was my family here, and then that was they everybody like so awesome people, like amazing, like everybody like I don't know, best people, and then I I feel like home. I feel like a family when I go there, and we all help each other, and we all make to better each other, you know, like like
I got you. They raise the
uh,
bar.
right. So and yeah, I have a best team. I'm glad then I have a best team now already. I'm training with my team like 6 years, and I like I said, like I was amateur, and now I'm a UFC fighter, and that's it. This because of happened because of Serra Longo team made me like this.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, and it's
Yeah.
really good because a lot of times you hear a fighter comes and they find a team, but it doesn't work out right away, and they hop
Yeah.
around. So it's good when you immediately click with a team like that.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned you mentioned Khabib, and I kind of leads into my next question. Who do you have any fighters that you like to that you whose styles you want to emulate? Because you're super aggressive. You're always attacking. I don't think anyone who watches your fight ever thinks there's a moment where there's like, oh, this is going to be. You're always exciting. You're always fun. You're grappling. You're constantly wrestling and shooting takedowns and looking to land strikes in transition and on the feet. You're down to throw down with anyone, whether
Yeah.
no matter what. Do you have anyone you like to emulate on the feet, on the ground? Is it Khabib?
Not really, because like MMA now it's like it's so getting so hard, like to like everybody, like a lot of talent people, a lot of talent fighters, like fighting each other, especially my weight class, like
Right.
top 15, like everybody's good, you know, like it's so hard. And it's for me it doesn't work like this way, like his styles. And I mean, we all have to figure it out somehow, like whatever works for us. And I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be good everywhere. Like I'm trying to get better jiu-jitsu wise, like wrestling wise, kickboxing wise, boxing, you know, everything. Because uh, I cannot, I mean, like I cannot use somebody's technique. I can use everything a little bit, like one technique for everyone. But I have to be myself. But I gotta use technique whatever good for me, and good for me. And so um, I don't watch one guy like specific. I don't have like one I like. I mean, I like George St. Pierre style. Like he's very, yeah, he's very smart, and he's always make sure he's not risking too much,
Hmm.
and he always was dominant.
Yeah, I think anybody would look at George St. Pierre and go like, that's a good
Right.
style. I want
Yeah,
to I want to
yeah,
fight like that guy,
yeah,
the greatest. You know.
yeah.
That's good. So you're on a 3 fight win streak, which and it's an impressive win streak. You actually beat a guy who Casey Kenny in your last fight, who was pretty highly regarded.
Right.
He beat Ray Borg before. Um, so what are your next steps? Do you have any particular fighters that you're like, I want that guy, I want that guy, because you know that they're gonna give you that next elevated step up into the rankings?
Yeah, actually, I have the guy, but I'm tired of say his name.
No problem.
His name is Sean O'Malley, and of course, I
Ah,
want to fight
yeah.
with him. Yeah, he's undefeated. He's a great fighter, good fighter, and then
Hmm.
I have big respect for him. But he's my weight class. He's about my rank. He has like three fights win in UFC. I have the same, and we both same class, and then I want to fight with him. But these guys keep ignore me. I don't know why, but um, because I mentioned his name couple times, and I was asking him like fight to like very respectful, but he never said my name. So I mean, he tried. I don't know what he's doing, but I wish him good luck and best luck. And if somebody can make this fight, and that would be great. But otherwise, like I have like a bunch of great guys in front of me, like top 15 guys, and I'm ready for step by step, like win all of them. Even my last opponent, yeah, he was top 15. He was good guy, but I been dominated. So
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to you say you're trying to be good at everything. How do you how do you how do you pick what you're going to work on next? So, you like you said, you have obviously the grappling background, the judo, the sambo. You've been working, I'm sure, on your kickboxing and you said you're wrestling and jujitsu. Do you discuss with Ray and Matt and the other coaches, we think this would be really good to work on next? Or is it kind of like everything kind of at once? What are your plans and
yeah,
how you choose to improve?
yeah. Actually, we work on everything, and then if I do something wrong or something like, of course, they always instruction to tell me to this way is better, and always we try to get better, and we don't work any specific takedown or like only boxing or whatever. We just try to training everything, because MMA now you need to be like a good everywhere, every position, uh uh you know
Hmm.
uh, like we work everything like pretty much
Hmm.
so. And I like, yeah, because you need like we have to pick everything, every good sport, like a really combat sport, like jiu-jitsu is very important, our sport. Boxing, of course, important. Kickboxing, of course, important. Grappling, wrestling, even some technique of judo and sambo and karate, anything works out, we have to use it, and
Right.
that's what we're doing. So
Um, so that actually kind of leads into the other question. You have your judo and sambo background, and I was discussing with a wrestler who trains jiu-jitsu now, and he's competing in the highest level of jiu-jitsu, and he was telling us things that he did in wrestling that don't work in jiu-jitsu, or he can't do in jiu-jitsu. Are there things from your style that when you started doing MMA that you said, I can't do this in MMA, it won't work? Are there like certain things that you'd used to do a lot that you had to abandon?
right, that's actually a good question, because, like I said, I was training judo and sambo, and then judo and sambo, you have a gi, and then you can like grab the gi and you can take down and do like so many takedowns, so many techniques, so many like you can stop the guys and like. But MMA, it's like you almost naked. You cannot
Yeah.
grab nothing. So it's nothing. You gotta just and then especially after like 3 minutes, everybody's sweating and it's slippery. So you have to just punch each other and just and uh, like it's different story. And then I remember when I amateur fights, I used to be like, if my opponent was like a wrestler, I tried to just strike him, like a punching to the face, whatever, and that was work for me. And if my opponent was like a striker, I always try to wrestling, and that was work for me also. But when I go pro, and then my opponent was he already has a title. He was like a 4-1 or something. So and then I try to punch him wherever, and I try to take him down like a judo takedown. But I take him down, but I give it to him my back, and he hold me, and then he was trying to choke me like or less, for whatever 4 minutes
Right.
was left, and then after first round I was exhausted, and I go again crazy because I have to, because I lost first round, and because of, yeah, you can't use like exactly technique like a wrestling or judo and sambo in MMA. You really need to like a smart training. Maybe you can win like a 1 or 2 or 3 fights, maybe, but eventually you will have a problem. So if you don't change, and if you don't specific training MMA technique, because it's like so many little details makes all fights different,
Mhm.
like change. So
Sure. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I actually, so what, so I guess the other side of that coin is, were there any specific techniques that you did a lot that you felt like this works for MMA specifically? Like I can take this and I already know it really well, and I know I could pull this off. I was actually, I'll give you an example. I was watching your fight. I think it was with Ricky Simone, and you hit this takedown that you ducked under him, and you, as you were taking him down, you wrapped up his leg, and just, it was, first of all, it was beautiful. So like that
Yeah,
was great. I actually, like,
yeah,
I took a video of that and I posted it because I'm like, that's amazing.
yeah.
But yeah, so are there things like that that you're like, this works and I know I can really make this a big part of my game?
Yeah, so so like a basic technique everybody can read. Like let's say I'm like a three and right kick, or like
Hmm.
maybe they can read and they can like check kicks or like a, whatever. But I try to do something like an okay, how do you say, I don't know, like something different, like something for like they don't know before, like something new, something
Hmm.
like you know that's only way. Now I tell you, like it's like we are like this, everybody like
Hmm.
like almost same level, and we have to be, it's not like um
There's no big disparities. There's no
yeah,
big differences, you mean?
exactly. So and then that's why I'm trying always to like I know basic technique, but I'm trying to like use something like something in it, like
Special
special.
that
Yes,
they wouldn't
exactly.
know, and then you could catch them with a surprising thing that they just never
Right.
trained.
Exactly. Yes.
Interesting. Uh,
Yes.
I kind
Yeah.
of, yeah, I kind of like that. That's actually a really
Yeah.
interesting
Right.
point because, like, somebody who just comes up training MMA, trains MMA, and everyone does jab, cross, left hook, right hook,
Right.
kicks, takedowns, and you're saying like, well, I did that also, but I also have this interesting takedown that you probably have never seen before.
Yeah. So, yeah, like if you see my takedowns, it's like never like almost never like shooting double legs, because everyone
Hmm.
can read, like especially fighting. You hear, and when you shoot double legs, you already down, and I can see and I can react it. So that's why I always punch first and then I go, or like some like a movement, like some maybe when he attacked me, and that's where I found the momentum. Like it's timing, and it's uh, yeah, that's how it works now.
Right. Um, I actually want to pivot to a different conversation, not a different conversation, a different topic, weight cutting. Um, First question is, do you cut a lot of weight, I guess, to get to 135?
Yes, I do. I do cut at least 20 pounds, sometimes 25, which is this is the hardest part, like a part like of MMA.
Mhm.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the my yeah like
Do-
but we all have to go through, because everybody cut. If you wanna fight with your size guys, you have to cut weight. Otherwise, if you fight your natural weight and everybody cutting down, and they all big next day. So it's and that's why we're cutting weight, and it's never easy for me, but I'm making weights. I never miss weight my life, and yeah. But this is hardest, like
Yeah.
hardest part.
How do you go about it? Do you have your own thing that you do that you figured out for yourself, or does this
Right,
team have kind of a
right,
system that they all do?
right. I do my like kind of like my old school style weight cuts. Like last 5 days, I don't eat, I don't drink, and I just training 2 times a day, and then I feel like I'm miserable, but that's how it works for me. I try like couple of my teammates doing like a water load. They drink water, and like and then after they flew, I mean, but it's not work for me, and it's for me. It's and always like the last 5 days always stressful, and then I don't trust this new. I do whatever I used to be like
Right.
15 years ago, and it's always works for me. Even I feel tired. I rather be tired, and I don't want to risk and miss weight. I don't want to
Right.
shine. So I know this works for me, and I'm still doing. Like a lot of my teammates, they think I'm crazy, but I'm like I rather to like just kill myself than make weight. And but yeah, they always, of course, they teach me like we always change our experience, and then like,
Mhm.
share our experience to each other, like which food is more healthy or more like less fat and something. Uh, but we all, especially we all like mentally make each other strong and whatever. When it's bedtime, it's for last 5 days is weight cuts. It's always hard for me, and yeah, everybody different. But like I said, I cut like old style. Like
Mhm.
last 5 days, no eat, no drink, and just training.
Um, yeah. So after you hit the scales, after you weigh in, uh, how do you rehydrate safely? I guess. How do you make sure you don't overeat, overdrink, over like?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
usually do?
that's good question too, because yeah, when I was kid, when I every time I cut weights, I used to be like a drink crazy and eat crazy, like, and then I always feel bad, but now it's I after I make weights, and I try the first food is like, of course, like I'm just like taking like
Small
some
sips of
water,
water. Yeah.
sips of water, yeah, like little by little, like yeah, I'm mixing couple waters, like a coconut water, Pedialyte water, regular water, water with the hand and the honey, and just mix, and like I'm just taking sips, and then it's very important is because of your stomach is very small at this
Right.
time after weight cuts. You don't eat usually, like you don't really eat like last 5 days, and I start eating with like strawberry, blueberry, and watermelon, like something too easy to my stomach, like fruit,
Right.
like it's 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 your body will take this one easy and no needs too much energy, because if you eat meat or chicken, it's so hard, and you don't have energy for like
For the fight
yeah, and then, yeah, exactly, and it takes a couple hours to
to
uh,
digest it and
right.
finish.
So,
Right.
and yeah, fruit is beginning. You gotta start fruit, and after sip water, and then you can drink tea. But soup is good too, like soup, like
Hmm.
and then like chicken soup or everything soup
Right.
is good. So, and that's how. But and then like you like pretty much like 24 hour, I'm just like snacking something, everything, like, because, and then the thing is crazy. I actually post the video on Facebook too, like my last fight, like after my fight, I was drinking all this water, right?
Right.
Pedialyte water, coconut water, or regular water, and then I collected all this bottle, like in my table, and then like that was like maybe at least 7 bottle, and then and I was saying, and then I don't I drink all this like in like maybe 3 4 hours, and I also eat, and I don't even go bathroom and pee, because of it's like, yeah, I was like, I don't know where this water goes, but it's like, and I'm still skinny, and then it's crazy. But next day I'm getting same weight, like if I, let's say, if I starting with, if I walking out 55 or 60, and then next day, like fight day, I'm getting same weight back, like a
Right.
55, or like uh,
So you
uh
gain all the weight back before the
yeah,
fight,
yeah,
roughly.
yes,
Um,
yes.
that's that's really interesting. I've never actually been like I've done a smaller weight cut but nothing like that. And
Yeah.
people constantly talk about how weight cutting and like is it good? Is it like how bad? Like should people move up? Shouldn't they not? but now it's like interesting to actually hear like the exact process and the rehydration. Are you in favor of like maybe some like weight cutting restrictions that would make everybody move up a little bit? So the more, or are you in favor of more weight classes, or do you like it the way it is now?
No, I don't like whatever it is now. I wish they can change something, but it's gonna be so hard because people
Right.
are still cutting weight. I think they change in wrestling, but I think they still cutting weight. They changed the rules, like because
Right.
wrestlers also was cutting weight. Or yeah, I wish no one has to cut weights. This way we can fight really every 2 weeks or maybe
Right.
every month. That will be much better for us.
Right.
Easier. Yeah, or like one FC they does somehow like a natural they fighting natural weight, so maybe we can go this way. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, but I don't think UFC is changing anytime soon.
Right.
I wish they should.
Absolutely. Do you have to go anyway? Do you think you have to go?
No, if you have some questions, I mean,
No, it's up to you. Whenever I would love to be able to do this again at some time. If you want
yeah,
to do another interview,
yeah,
we can
but
find it.
yeah, like maybe that's awesome. Yeah, maybe another time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
another time. Yeah,
Of
but
course, no problem.
yeah,
Um,
I'm waiting for like now. I'm not training good, but I'm trying to still training, workout, running, like, and sometimes I go Ale Quintas house. He has a garage. Uh, and he has a mats in garage and everything, and me, Aljama Sterling, and a couple our teammates Dennis Bazooka, Nazim, and Steve Lee, we go there. And now Matt Steamroller, he's gonna
right.
Prevola,
Pavola, Matt Pavola, of course.
Matt Prevola. Yeah, Steamroller, his nickname. So, yeah, so he's gonna come next week, I think, and then like we all training to each other, and like now and then Aljo, I think Aljo's getting fights. So, and I'm waiting for fight, and I hopefully they're gonna give me fight soon, and I'm ready. I'm ready, and I wanna fight soon as possible. And if yeah,
Hopefully soon. Hopefully
yeah,
hopefully Sean O'Malley actually answers.
right. Hopefully, yes,
Well,
that would be
I
great.
guess I guess before you go, do you if you want to put out your Twitter handle, anyone wants to follow you on Facebook, Instagram, if you have those going on. Um,
Yeah, yes, I have a like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram pages like Merab
mhm,
Dvalishvili. So, and then if anyone interesting, they can follow me. And I
absolutely.
appreciate everyone. That means a lot for me. Like the people support. It's always good and it means a lot for athletes and fighters.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So,
Well, Merab, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you joining me. It's really, really like even though it was less than a half hour, usually I do these like actually for an hour, and I have like, but we were actually getting a lot of good stuff, and hopefully we get to do this again soon. I would really love to do that, or definitely have more questions I would like to ask, and more about your upbringing in Georgia and your life here, and I guess maybe some more personal stuff also. So yeah, hopefully we can
sure.
do this again soon.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, and I really enjoy too. And anytime, man, no problem.
Mhm.
And let's do this one again.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, again for tuning in to the Fight Set interview. This was Merab Dvalishvili. Make sure that you follow him on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Send him your love, support. Definitely, maybe give him a shout out whenever you're doing stuff on your Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. So thank you again. Make sure you join the Patreon. This is Ben Kohn. Enjoy the rest of your day, and everyone stay safe.